Hello, this is Rebirth of Legend with a replay analysis for Hellix 08. We'll be playing a Morphling in this game. This analysis is going to be about a whole team composition. So they're a group of friends who are a 5-stack and they're playing captain. So it's going to be a little different from the videos I usually do. It's the first one I've done of this type, so feel free to leave some feedback. It might be a little rough around the edges, but see what we can do. So I'll start off by looking at the draft. Specifically what you're asking is, very small team with this pretty good match, nice comeback, what do we need to improve, and how was their mid laner? So let's start with the draft and look at stuff, because I looked at it briefly on Dota Buff and it seemed like there wasn't much direction. Alright. Just like bugging out, or is like nothing happened yet? Okay, there we go. Alright, so the first ban was an anti-mage, and that's by you guys. This is a really bad first ban. There's not really a reason to do it. Anti-mage is a hero that can be countered, and like if they want to first 2 pick like an anti-mage, that gives you between like 3 and 4 picks to 3 and 5 picks to respond to them picking that anti-mage. You could pick like a Doom, you could pick Storm, Quap, Clinks, tons of heroes that can create a huge problem for him. Heavy lockdown teams, there's just a huge nightmare for that hero. People that can sneak up on him, or things that make it so it's much more difficult for him to split push, like a faceless. Okay, we can't. Okay, it's a silencer ban. So that's like a very like 6.84 ban too. There's nothing wrong with it, really. I think there's a lot stronger heroes in this current patch, so like, just for some background, I haven't done much drafting in, okay, we're paused. I haven't done much drafting in this patch. I know like, the heroes that tend to be really strong, I have an idea of what they are. Like Doom is absolutely ridiculously strong right now. Something you definitely want to put a focus on, but like, the playstyle seems to be like very in flux. So in like your first couple of picks too, you don't want to like do something that's going to give away too much of your lanes. And you don't want to pick something that's like a low priority hero. Like what are the odds of an Ogre Magi getting banned, and what does that show about your lanes? It's going to show that you have a tanky melee hero. It's not really the best roamer, but he can like bully in a lane. But if they run like an aggro lane or something, then an Ogre Magi is not going to be too great for that. So they banned a Silencer and a Leshrac. Those are kind of iffy bans too. We don't care about them. We'll look at your stuff. So that's like a horrible ban here. You could ban that second stage. Like let's say if you picked like a Storm Spear or something and you don't want to deal with like getting mana voided, then you could ban that out. If your team doesn't have CC, then you could ban that out. So right now when we look at their lineup, let's see what we think they're doing here. They have a Wind Ranger. Like right now I'd assume that's probably a core Wind Ranger. They picked an Enigma. So the Enigma means like that's almost 100% going to be in the jungle. You can do some cheeky shit and run that hero like off lane or mid if you want to be really clowny, but it's pretty shitty. Just putting him in the jungle is the most efficient way to play Enigma. Because he gets items really quickly, whatever. So you automatically know they're going to have like a 2-1-1-1 situation. So it's just where their 2 heroes are going to be, most likely in the safe lane. So you know that they're gonna have like a weaker safe lane and like the potential of having an Enigma roam, but he's not really gonna roam for like the first 5 minutes. It's not a terrible jungler, but you know, it's definitely not the best. And you have a Wind Ranger off lane, and she's not a good, or sorry, you have a Wind Ranger off lane or mid, is what I would assume. I think I end up being wrong about that assumption, but that's a pretty fair assumption. Not many people run a support Wind Ranger because it's pretty garbage, because it's not a reliable stun. She really benefits from like farm and like mobility items, which you're not really going to be able to get on a support Wind Ranger. So if I were you, I would consider like, okay, I know they're going to have weaker lanes. Like they'll have to draft really independent heroes for this Enigma to like really pay off. So like taking like a Quap, maybe like I think they end up taking a Darkseer, and that would be a good offlaner who can just throw ion shells and not really worry about a lot of stuff. And then they want a pretty independent safe lane. So like independent safe laners would be something like a Gyrocopter, a Clinks to an extent, stuff like that. But like you could definitely look to like punish and dive stuff, because you know this Enigma's not going to be doing anything for like the first 5 minutes at the very least if he's a good Enigma. or if he's like a mediocre Enigma. Like ideally you get your level 6 by about 5 minutes or so. I think that's pretty reasonable. I think like really good players can get it in like 4:30. But like, say this is a lower skill game, so if they're not like as familiar with Enigma or they don't know like how to perfectly jungle, you're probably looking at like a 5 to 6 minute level 6, and he probably won't move out of the jungle a lot because he can do smoke ganks with his Malefice, sorry, not Maledict, and demonic conversion. Like he could feasibly get kills with that, so it's something you need to consider, but it's not like a huge threat. The Wind Ranger can be a pretty independent mid. If she does end up in their offlane, she's a really weak offlaner. If you pick something like a Skywrath could zone her out by himself while your carry gets absolute farm and controls the creep wave. So that's something you need to like consider here a lot, because you can if you run like an aggro dual lane or you run like a gank heavy lineup, you can punish their safe lane and punish their mid because they're not really going to have a huge ability to respond to those things. So it's something you need to look at in a lineup. That Warlock pick seems kind of questionable too. Like this, like if I'm this team and I see this, it could be a core Warlock. Probably a support. You have really shitty roamers right now. Like Ogre Magi needs to get really close to get a stun, so unless one of your other cores has a stun, he's not going to be that great for roaming. Warlock can't roam at all. I hate Warlocks, I hate AA, and I hate Liches, because they don't roam well. They just sit in lane and like be annoying in lane. Which isn't necessarily bad, it just limits your playstyle. And picking it this early reveals your hand. So like, I would feel totally safe running an Enigma if I saw these picks. But like they picked it and then you reacted and picked that, which is really, really questionable. Because like now they're gonna completely get away with this Enigma pick because you have no real aggression. Like you could pick a Spirit Breaker here or something, and you can get like super aggressive. You could pick up Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter will punish the Enigma because you can just camp him in the woods and he doesn't want to buy sentries and place them everywhere. Like be a huge pain in the ass. You could do a bounty if you even want to be. I know this is low level. You could do the same, a very similar thing with like a Riki if you really wanted to. If you're more comfortable doing that. And that hero has a little more carry potential than a bounty. Bounty's better for like team coordination, but like that's what you could have picked into this shitty Enigma. But you picked a Warlock, which makes your lanes really weak. Like this guy's stun is like 350 range or something. They nerfed the crap out of it. It's really short. So him getting ganks off, very difficult. And Warlock's just gonna like try and pull, and he's gonna steal experience from your safe laner. So that like reveals a lot about your laning situation. Like yes, that could be a core Warlock. I don't think you end up running it as that, if I remember correctly. But that's it just shows so much. They ban a Storm for whatever reason. I wouldn't be that scared. They have okay lockdown already, but it's one of those heroes you just want to get rid of sometimes. And you ban a Tide. It's fine, I guess. I mean, there's other more high priority bans like a Doom or something would definitely be higher priority than what you guys are doing right now. The Tide, like with your lane, you could zone a Tide like pretty well. Like the Warlock should just be sitting to the side of the lane and zoning the Tide Hunter, while your carry does whatever he wants. So like I wouldn't necessarily be scared of a Tide Hunter. Like yeah, it's a good teamfight presence, but it's not something I'd really be super worried about until like it got to this point. I'm like, shit, a Tide would be really good for their last pick, because we banned out like other offlaners like a Clock and shit. Like these guys should have banned a Clockwork, I think, somewhere in here maybe. That's one of those things that can interrupt an Enigma. I guess the Storm can to an extent, but whatever. It's our last span gonna be here. Faceless Void. Not bad. Like, that's one of those heroes I just hate playing. If I'm like a hard carry, I hate playing against the Faceless Void. It's one of those things that's very hard to outplay if he gets really far ahead. Just out of an irritation ban, if I think they need a carry, then I would do that. But like in your situation, like keep in mind, they have the Enigma. Are they gonna run offlane Faceless Void? That would be stupid, and it'd probably be a safe lane Void. That means they're gonna have a Faceless Void and probably some other support. Oh cool, you do end up going with the Spirit Breaker. I think the Warlock still kind of puts you in a hole here. So what I was gonna say is like, yeah, like I'd be kind of scared. Like I personally, it's like a thing I don't like is playing against late game Faceless Voids or like an enemy Faceless Void, because if my team feeds him, I don't feel like I can easily out carry that hero, because he can punish me trying to split push or play like really aggressive very easily. And there's like a certain degree of luck involved to it too. Like I lost games to Faces Void because of luck, like multiple times, and it's really annoying. Like those one pivotal moments where something just doesn't work out. Like he backtracks your last hit, gets a chrono off, and then kills you. It's really stupid. But like the reason I wouldn't be scared of this now is because they have an Enigma. I mean, they're gonna run some shit dual lane with a Faceless Void. If you run something aggro with like a Spirit Breaker and like a Doom or a Viper, he's gonna get shit on and killed all the time. Best case scenario, he doesn't die and he gets no farm. Most likely scenario, you get tons of fucking kills on this guy. Because his leap, even at lower levels, is not very far. So if you have a Viper like harassing him, he goes up for a hit, he gets kind of low, you just do a charge on him and he's gonna die. So like that wouldn't be a really high priority ban. I'd want to get rid of independent laners like a Gyrocopter Clink, stuff like that. People who could like solo the lane and not care.
Oh man, Rick, there's only 10 seconds left to pick a hero. 5 seconds left now. Reserve time.
This is your pick. So like right here, what would I do? Let's see. Ban the anti-mage out. Their lanes are weird. It's actually really weird. Okay, oh, never mind. So I would think this is 100% a mid Wind Ranger, and I would be wrong. So I'd want something that can compete with the Wind Ranger. I think it, like I don't know mid too well. I don't really play mid. I think an Invoker's probably fair. It's probably decent against Enigma too, because you got lots of lockdown. That's probably an okay pick. Alternatively, you could get like a Quap or what other heroes are good against Wind Ranger? I'm sorry. I'm the one role I don't play at all is like mid. So that's definitely an area where I'm weak at. That's probably like a fine pick because it gives you a lot of control against these people, which is really nice. So if you're comfortable with it, awesome. What do they go with here?
Rick, there's only 10 seconds left to pick a hero. 5 seconds, Morty. It'll be fine.
Okay, so like right now, you know, like they're gonna have a safe lane gyro. You should think a mid Wind Ranger. So right now they need a support. She's banning out a support. It could be a good support. You want to get rid of someone with a stun, probably. Why do I keep? Okay, whatever, that's fine. Probably want to get rid of someone with a stun, like Lion would probably be okay. If you're not gonna run like a dual lane or something, then you might want to get rid of something else strong, like a Lich. The Omni Knight was not the pick. Like, what does an Omni Knight do? So if they're gonna run like a dual lane Omni Knight here or something, like that's a gyro who's kind of like alone and he can get dove, and the Omni can't really do anything about it. He's kind of a liability and he can't prevent any of the harass that you can bring into the lane. Like if you go aggro with like, I don't know, like Invoker Ogre or something like that, like you're gonna shit all over a gyro Omni Knight lane. And a gyro in like any melee hero, because gyro only has like, I think it's like 350 range. He's very short range. Only his flat cannon gives him a lot of range, which lets his hits extend to 1,000, but your target still has to be within your actual range, which is like 350. It's like that. Those like a lot of these bans are really bad. That's a bad ban. That was probably unnecessary. Maybe could have been ran later. That was a bad ban. That was a bad ban. Could have had a lot more things. Could have gotten rid of Gyrocopter, which is clearly what they ended up wanting. Which is definitely one of those things you probably wanted to toss. Let's see. What are they gonna ban? You need a hard carry right now. Get rid of a Sven. It's weird, but whatever. You guys have a... I wouldn't mind having a Sven, because Sven's not good against Darkseer, so Darkseer can just send Ion Shells and like handle that. They should want to get rid of a ranged hero. Like once again, I'll go back to the Clinks. Clinks is pretty good against Gyro, because you could just chunk him like really quickly outside of his range. It's pretty good against the rest of them too. You can harass a Darkseer. He won't really bother you in lane too much. So you definitely want a range carry. The Sven Van was pretty shit on their part. Let's see how we round this out though.
Rick, there's only 10 seconds left to pick a hero. Yeah, 5 seconds left now. Reserve time.
I would like... I know this is a bug where you can't like click forward and like crashes Dota a lot. They have like... Yeah, their CC kind of blows. And now you know this is like a support Wind Ranger, which is weird as hell, but... Like, they picked an Enigma, and like... Or not an Enigma, they picked an Ember, which isn't really that great. It's gonna be an Ember mid against your Invoker. Invoker should have a good time. I think Ember should beat up pretty bad in that lane, particularly when it comes to lane, just fucking ready to last hit. You need like a poor man's shield or something. Because Evoker's got low base damage, but his range is pretty nice. 600. Yeah, I thought it was a little longer, but I was wrong. Yeah, I mean, hey, if you're comfortable with a Morphling, then do it. I've never seen, like, when I play pubs, I've never seen, like, a good Morphling. It just never happens. They're all so bad. But this is, like, your group of friends, but it's still, like, a low-level game, so I would never feel comfortable picking a Morphling for anyone. You picked it for yourself, so I guess if you were drafting, I didn't actually check that. But if you were drafting, then, yeah, you picked it for yourself, and, like, it's okay, I guess. I mean, you know what their lanes are going to be. Problem is, like, another low range hero of 350, you're going to kind of get in range with that Ion Shield. It's going to be kind of annoying, but it's not the end of the world. Like, your supports, if they play correctly, should be able to keep the Darkseer at level 1 for a very long time. The problem is here, like, if we're just looking at the lanes, you can't roam very well. He's going to probably do fine middle. Like, I wouldn't think he's going to struggle that much. He'll probably get some farm if he plays alright. The Evoker should get farm. I'd say if there's kill potential, it's on the Invoker to kill him. But I don't think it's that great because you're going to block a lot of damage with the Flame Guard if he maxes that. Let's check out this lane. We have just a single offlane Spirit Breaker against jungle. Yeah, like the Spirit Breaker is going to get crushed in this lane. Or he should. Because we have Gyro who can zone and a Wind Ranger who can zone him early too. And an Enigma who's just free farming woods. So you're going to lose the woods battle, and you're not going to get enough from your lanes. Or you shouldn't get enough from your lanes. Because this Wind Ranger should not have a problem dealing with, See, she's standing in the wrong spot. She needs to be, like, here. And that Gyro needs to focus on denying this really hard and getting that lane under control. She's not. So you're going to get, the Spirit Worker's going to get an easy level 2. Which he shouldn't. So that's like a combination of a bad block and the carry not playing correctly. So like he's getting some levels, but he should get way less than this right now. He should be sitting at level 1 for a very long time there. Let's get mid. Does get the poor man shield. It's getting her out. Like he could feasibly die if he really waits for this bottle. He probably should have shipped himself more tangos. Just because it's gonna make him, like, just not having regen here is gonna make it so he'll have to be a little more scared to, like, creep, which isn't good. Stuff seems to be happening up here. Oh, what is this shit show? It's a stack pull. Okay, let's look at your safe things. We already established kind of how those were going. This Darkseer's getting to play okay, this guy is in the wrong spot. He needs to be over here attacking this guy. This Darkseer should not be level 2 right now. He should be stuck back here at level 1. Because this creep wave meets even farther up. It meets like over here naturally, I think. I think it's like right here. So this guy's tower is all the way back here, and it should be really hard for the Darkseer to go up and get experience. And this guy's not scared at all. And like if he's even getting ballsy on the Warlock, which he really shouldn't be able to. Just have to have more regen. Or not even more regen, you just have to like be careful with your positioning, but the Warlock shouldn't have a problem really zoning him out too much, as long as he's a little diligent. And then if that guy sticks around too much, you just walk over with this guy and you kill him. Like you guys could kill him with like waveform, stuns waveform into whatever, but like you're letting him get way too much. Your supports really need to like get their shit. Who the fuck? That should not have been possible. We'll go back and look at that. I know he did it with an Invis ring, because I remember seeing him pick that up. That's like still fucking dumb. He was at like 300 HP. It was either something like really unlucky with creeps, or that Invoker just did something stupid. So like this block needs to be up here zoning. Like it's too late now. He already fucked this up really bad. Because like right now, your hero is very level dependent and farm dependent. Like you need a lot as a Morphling, and you just have your. Well, he's pulling shit, so that's not as bad. But you guys are taking a lot of your experience. Like, you're level 4, and this guy's probably the same level. He's a little bit behind. But he should literally just be at level 1 right now, and he's not. Let's go back and look at that shit middle. Okay, what am I about to experience? Oh, okay, he got... No, he got the kill already. What the hell am I experiencing? Okay, he goes... He's at like half HP right now. Guess he's not in much better shape. He should be using his tangos. There's no reason not to. He's got 4 tangos. You can afford to use one. Just aggro some creeps right there. Oh, it's about to happen. Okay, so he just got a tango off. I think he waited a little too long, and then he aggroed some creeps unnecessarily. What the fuck? Just run. Okay, that was just some bad fucking reactions. Let's like look over this. So he walks up and he misses the chains and just pops a flame guard. Flame guard's 200 magic absorb. You're not gonna be able to do the magic damage. He misses the flame guard. You back up to the tower. That's it. You live there and you don't die. You also waited. He had that up. I know. Oh no, he didn't. What? This gives 2 level 1, right? Am I crazy? Yeah, it's just. Did he just not invoke his shit? Like, what the hell? Okay, something's screwed up here. $20. Gonna get the invisor in. Okay, yeah, I definitely don't play Invoker, so he should have invoked this immediately, his next spell. If he invoked it immediately, he would have like lived there. So he has to switch, invoke, and yeah, he would have lived there. He would have lived there and killed that guy if he invoked correctly, or if he backed up to the tower. So that was just real piss poor play on the Invoker's part. Like that guy just went on him with like half his HP, got a kill, and got like the first blood kill, got his bottle, and got his TP scroll. Like this, he should not have gotten that. And here's this guy still getting way too much out of lane. Spear breaker. Still a person getting more out of lane, but like this lane's easier for the off lane because it meets much farther up unless you get a good block, and it's like harder to control it initially. If you get all the denies, you can keep it at level 1 for very long, or for a long time. But like it can be difficult here sometimes if you screw up your block for whatever reason. It's a shitty support too. Okay, this dive is like crazy. No one even TPs for it. Direct TPs. It's like 4 minutes. These guys should try and have TPs. Like even over boots. A TP for that would result in this guy dying. Skill build shitty. You don't like if you're playing a carry jar, you don't want 2 in homing missile. But like so here, like right now, like I'm totally content in this laning phase. My darks here. If I'm not radiant. So this guy is getting a ton. He's not getting zoned out at all. You guys are just sitting here with your dicks in your hands. The ogre is just pulling occasionally, so he's losing some experience. But like my Darkseer is getting a ton out of this lane. I'm happy. My Ember killed this guy when he shouldn't have. I'm super happy. My Enigma is PvEing like a champ. He's getting so much out of the jungle. It's actually, I think this is a slow jungle. This seems pretty slow. Because you could be, like, I think it's possible to be level 6 by now. And he's like, he's only halfway through 4. This guy got a kill, and he's got decent farm. So like, if we look at the top, 3 of the top 5. Yeah, so they're probably up like 1,000 gold right now. Yeah, there you go, 1,000 gold. Bit of experience. Excellent. He needs to be careful, like his HP is too low. He needs to get like tangos from her or something. So this is really bad. I wouldn't have gone back to base here. Like this is costing him a ton of time, like potential farm for what? Just because there's a spear breaker who might charge you. Like you have a support there with 2 tangos, you have a tango, you have half your HP. Like 2 tangos brings you back up to like 85, 90% HP, and then you're not scared to die anymore. And like you know your team sucks at roaming, so why is he scared? It's really bad. Who just died again? Oh, never mind, no one died. Oh, he's so lucky that was a haste turn. That wasn't a haste turn. I think he's dead there. Definitely close. He's a slow hero. I think he's like 300 base, 295 base, something like that. Definitely not a fast hero. Lucky haste turns. This game's going super slow.
Oh, jeez, Morty, they're going after Tiger's bottom tower.
You're getting pretty okay farm though. That's good. The But like how you play the mid game is gonna be pretty important because you need to like farm really efficiently in this hero and use your ultimate to like split farm really efficiently. Okay, I don't know what the hell the deal with that is. They don't really, like, they have a ton of magical damage. Rushing a Ghost Rider is pointless. You want to get the treads, or if you, there's not really a reason to get a Lincoln's in this game. But like, there's a reason to get a Lincoln's. Maybe you can get the Ring of Health or something. But like, you're playing this game on real easy mode. If they rotated someone in here, they could probably kill you. Your HP is really low. Like, if this guy had a black hole, you could die. So he's not getting a mech either. He's rushing the blink from the looks of it. Oh yeah, I mean he has a Darkseer, never mind. So that makes sense. It's one of those things they need to communicate and like work with. But yeah, this Ghost Sifter is stupid. You should just have treads right now. Treads and probably a wand would be pretty good. And then you can start building, like if you want to go into shotgun after that you can. I think like straight shotguns like a thing you can do. I definitely don't play Morphling, but that is 110% wrong. There's no reason to get that. There goes Panoff.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
See, this build is terrible. He can't farm without flat cannon, so you want to get flat cannon maxed right after your rocket barrage, sometimes before, like depending on the flow of the game. Usually you want this max though, because that lets you like TP and contribute to fights and start farming the woods a lot. Like this Enigma's here for too long now. This Enigma hasn't done shit. So this is kind of what I predicted. Like if he was a good Enigma, he would have ganked a lot. He would utilize his black hole, but he's had black hole. Like why even bother skilling it up if you're not going to use it? You could have your this max and be farming quicker, but instead you're doing nothing. So he gets his blink dagger and that's when he wants to make his move. That's some really slow farming, but your CS right now is pretty good though. So that's good. See, that's you keeping your HP way too low in favor of damage. And not having treads. It's both of those things. What an Enigma. What a player. So let's see how you guys approach this fight. Because I definitely wasn't watching the whole thing. Okay. Drop the rock. Charge. Black hole. Saves that guy. Yeah, I should watch that slower.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Okay, so you don't know this gyro's here. It's gonna be a problem. So he should start with his ult. That's really dumb. You can dodge that rocket, but you don't. That's a big ultimate. Charge comes. Yeah, that was just a good rotation on his part. But like, you should have been aware of that because I guess your Spirit Breaker was probably charging when that rotation. No, he should have known beforehand. Because that guy was sitting over here for a little bit, and then your Spirit Breaker charged like after that fight was already going. You should have had some like knowledge that like shit was going down. If you had a lane ward, you definitely would have known that too. Because I don't think he smoked there either. So that was like a bad fight, but not much. I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's only an early game fight. Wait, what the fuck? Oh, okay, I clicked him. So like right now, like my plan to win this game is these guys do not need to be here. Like you don't need babysitting right now. You need to just AFK farm, get your experience, and do whatever. Your guys should be pretty much 3 or 4 manning. Like 3 of them. See, this here just sucks for what you want to do right now. You want to make space for your Morphling until he has his items needed to like contribute in fights and get solo pickoffs. Because you want to split push and then kill people with your shotgun, or with your immense damage, or just split push and kill towers. So that's how you can play. So you can move as 4 with the Invoker and like play really aggressively on their side of the map, try and fuck with the Jaros farm, try and kill this guy. Like play in their woods. Like that's what your team wants to be doing right now. Creating space for the Morphling to farm. Having this guy sit here with you is pointless. Your Ogre's dead right now, but let's see what they do when they respawn. Like if they come top, it's really fucking dumb. Your guy does not need help right now. You should be making an illusion, pushing this wave all the way in, sending your illusion over to here to start farming, or even farther into here, so that once you kill this creep wave, you warp over to here, farm these camps, move back over to here, and then do the whole thing again. So that's pretty inefficient. Okay. We get a kill. Do they get punished for it? They don't. But like, if the Warlock was here, or the Invoker, this would be more kills right now. But like, the Warlock is still dicking around, doing nothing. It's really bad. And the Invoker's here, we got 1 kill. Like, yeah, they would have had 2 kills here on the Gyro if the Warlock was there, or the Invoker. But the Invoker is just sitting in middle, not doing anything. Getting a Yule Scepter for fun. I'm not gonna comment on the builds, I don't know Invoker builds that well. Yeah, but like, if he was there for that fight, if your Warlock was there for that fight, you're getting stuff like he's still... Oh, never mind. Where the hell is he? Alright, yeah, now he's down here. But what did he drop the ult on? Oh, he must have dropped to kill the Ember. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's pretty good. And use that to take it. But you had to come for this too. What are you saving for? I think you're just going straight for the roll blade. Once again, treads will do wonders for you. Like, straight rushing an item like this isn't that great. Sweet, your Invoker takes something. Like, he's like, right now all he's doing is he's like, well, maybe I'll contribute the Sunstrike, but you don't even have a great setup apart from like him, and you can still miss Sunstrikes with that. Like, why isn't your Invoker here? So, let's see, what do we see here? We have this tower almost dead. You see the Wind Ranger. You see them TPing in, you try and get out, and you get caught. Only 1 down though, it's not too bad. Boop, there it is. That's a pretty fast E-Blade. Like, your farm has fallen off a lot. You had 60 at like 11 minutes, and 5 minutes later, you've gotten like 15 more creeps. Like, right now is when you want to be farming and getting really far ahead. Like, you're still not offering that much in a fight right now, and you're super glass cannon. And like, you're not even going to do that much damage, right? Because you don't even have your adaptive strike maxed. So you're not going to do tons of damage. Like, that's when you... Like, if you look at how this skill works, the max multiplier hits its peak, obviously when it's maxed, but... So having this right now, what is that doing for you? It gives you an E-Blade nuke into a waveform. You don't even have adaptive strike. So what was the benefit of rushing this? There was no benefit. It's just, it's money into an item that gives you lots of agility, but doesn't really, and it helps you farm a little bit, I guess, and it gives you like 10 to other stats, but like treads and like a manta or something would give you so much more. It would give you stronger split push, give you more survivability, it would let you push harder. Alright, I think I said that already. Let you jungle better too. Like, rushing the E-Blade just did nothing for you, and you died. So like that's just a horrible thing to rush. It's quite bad. So when you buy items that are inefficient or bad, it's like you didn't even have that money to begin with, or you have, since it's not like you have nothing. It's just oh god, oh that is a slaughter. What a black hole, Enigma. What a black hole. I hate shit like that. Just calling GG well played for no reason. It drives me. It's like a super pet peeve to me. Mine. People do that all the time. Yeah, it was a great black hole. Still more to the game than that. And he showed up, like, this Invoker, that's poor play too. So your team gets fucking destroyed here. Nope, leave. Go split push, go farm. He shows up here, doesn't do anything, dies, and you guys lose this tower anyway. He could have split pushed here, could have farmed more. Like, there's things he could have done, but, like, come in here and die for no reason wasn't one of them. God, he's really going to Shadow Blade? This Gyro's really bad. It's a terrible build. What's our Darkseer at? So he's getting towards his mech. It's a super late mechanism. Can I get Roshan here too? Or do we contest that? We don't know. So I think you have shit ward coverage too. Like, do you guys even... You got 3 wards in stock, so you don't even know this is going on. And like, right now, your team wants to have like deep ward coverage here, and like here, and then being like mobile, and trying to get kills here and applying pressure and like getting farm. Well, you get to farm this entire area as the Morphling, so you get super far ahead. And like having those wards there tells you whether or not the enemy's in their jungle. So if they're not in their jungle and you don't see them in a lane, that means they're like probably trying to gank and kill you. So that gives you a lot of information too. Not having wards is really, really bad. Like you're playing a 5-sec, this isn't pubs. There's no excuse not to have wards up. There's no excuse not to like, well, I mean moving properly is something even I struggle with sometimes, like me and my sack. So I can't fault you for something I'm bad at too, right? Well, I fault myself, so I'll fault you too. So that's something like you need to just work on and be better with, and like go into the game with a plan and execute that plan. Because like right now, you guys just didn't do anything. You didn't zone here. That Darkseer got so much out of lane that he shouldn't have. Your fights are like not going correctly because the Invoker was just sitting here and the Warlock was babysitting you here with like pickoffs that were happening here. So it's just your Ogre and your Spiritbreaker just trying to go hard, and everyone else just not helping. Oh, he also probably wants his maxed by the time he has his multicast, just because it's so good. You don't even need the early level. I like understand the value point in Bloodlust, but it's like not bad, but you want to get that over a level of Ignite or something, and still have this max, because this nuke is like immense with your multicast if you get a little luck. It's really good. Nice. See, that's why you don't call it GG. Boom, you just killed it. Now he's dead too. Okay, that guy was dead already. He just got shoved up there. That's cool. You're gonna get this now too. You'll probably give this to the Invoker. Either one of you is fine. I think the Invoker does a little more right now. And you just want to be split pushing, so he's going to be in more fights than you, so it's probably worth him having it. Because if you die, like, you can pretty much just die twice. You should be able to play pretty safe with your Replicate. Also, you're just keeping, like, very minimal strength here. Okay, so, like, here, I'm guessing all your ults are still down. Ult down, ult down. Ult doesn't count, no ult. You should not want to fight here. Get vacked into cooldown, into rocket. Yeah, he turned back into his own death. Is he able? He wouldn't have. Okay, is he not gonna die? I think he's gonna die. He should die. Okay, if he didn't dip back in there, he would have lived there too. Like he walked back into the rocket. If you look, he gets vacked. Is running. Turns back to do something just to get pegged in the face with the rocket. And if he just kept walking, he would have gotten stunned over here, I think. He may or may not have gotten hit by that, but he would have been just far enough to avoid everything else that they used to just kill him right now. Probably would have lived. And now you have Boots of Travel. So the reason you get... Okay, I've seen this build before, and I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that it involves a certain type of playstyle. The reason you rush Boots of Travel on a Morphling, or you get it reasonably fast, is to split push like a motherfucker. You use the Boots of Travel in conjunction with your Replicate to farm everywhere, to split push everything. Like you have everything pushed and everything farmed like the whole time. Like that's what the purpose of it is, because you can be in basically like 3 places at once. You have the Boots of Travel to go somewhere. Okay, we don't care about that right now. You have the Boots of Travel, which are going to let you play like super far up and then TP right to a creep wave. Not to a tower, to a creep wave. And then start split pushing immediately, just super hard again. And then you have your Replicate, which you could have put up and put somewhere in the woods. So like you're split pushing down here. You get to the tower, you think they're probably going to come, you wait for them over here, Boots of Travel up to the top lane, start pushing that, and then once you get that pushed, then you jump into the woods with your Replicate and you start farming the woods out. That's the purpose of that. What you're doing by not farming and not doing anything and getting an E-Blade and just doing, like you're not thinking through why you're getting these items. You're just getting them for the sake of getting them, which isn't a good reason. Like you have your E-Blade, do you even have a kill yet? I think, no, you definitely have a kill, but like, you're not getting tons of kills because the E-Blade doesn't let you get kills at this point because you're not strong. You don't have a lot of agi, and this isn't maxed. You guys get wrecked again. Do you die here? I don't think you should. Yeah, okay, you're fine. Just rushing that refresher. And like with that recipe, he could have a Midas. Pretty. That's an $1,800 recipe. A Midas is like $2,150 or something, right? Let's check the 2050? 2050. So he could have like a Midas basically instead of that, and then you'll have better late game potential. And he'll probably get the refresher even faster while being able to buy support items, because guess what? 4 words in stock. Like that makes your job hard too. Like you're not playing well by any stretch of the imagination, but your team isn't doing things that let you play well. Like no one's buying wards. They're just like, oh, let me get my next items. Like, vision is so valuable. Like, at the small price that it is, why are you not getting it? It's crazy. Oh, you dead. You also dead. It's like that E-Blade didn't even help you get that kill. That dude was dead already. He was under meatball. So now we're just like 5-manning. And like, if you're 5-manning, why do you want Boots of Travel? Like, the Boots of Travel, what they let you do is your team moves as 4, and you're able to be with them, the Boots of Traveling to them. And like, you're not doing that either. So now we had 60 creeps at 11 minutes. 11 minutes later, you've gained 30 creeps. And this is when your farm should be like accelerating and exploding, and it's not. You're stagnating. Boop, boop. Let's see. We get this tower. They're all up right now, so you just have to be careful. TP'd out. Where did we go to? Why did everyone just TP here? There's no reason for like 9 TPs, right? So like, he's already out. Why are you TPing 3 people here? Like, your team needs to back together. And these guys... No, sorry. I misjudged that. I think they stuck around like too long. They have like a pretty mobile team. So you guys TP back. As soon as he TP's back, you guys get the tower and you run back. If they saw that TP, they could have like tried to jump you right there. They've been on a 4-on-4, and then this guy could have TP'd to it too. Stupid Shadow Blade. Such a crap item. But like, if they're already here, why are you here? They already held off this push. You're clearly not going to get this kill. You could have went back into the woods and farmed. Since all your lanes are pretty pushed right now, so you took this tower, so this lane's obviously pushed. This one's pushed. That one's pretty far up, so you could take this farm, but you have 2 supports who TP there. You could TP there and take it. You are a carry. Or you can leave it for them and go into the woods, which would be more efficient. I also think you're keeping your HP just a little bit too low. You probably want at least like 1,000 or something. You want it so like they can't like combo you before you can like get out. So you want enough where you can survive like the black hole. I guess you can morph during it. I'm assuming you know that. You can morph during stuns and shit on Morphling. Like, you're not even using your replicate either. You need to replicate him and send him somewhere else. Like, this is the biggest waste of a pickup. And like, you're not playing the hero correctly either. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not the best Morphling, but I know what I'm supposed to do, and it's more like I'm not sure. Or like, my execution on it's not as good, because I just need to play it more. But I don't even like the hero, so I don't play it. It's not even that. Like, if I really tried, I could probably play 20 games of Morphling and get decent with it. But it's just about knowing what you're supposed to be doing. I'm like, what are you guys doing? You're just hanging out here. Okay, you got a kill. That's good. We're getting really deep here. You're about to walk into a black hole. There it is. Like, you're not getting clean. You got a clean pick off, which is cool. And your Spearbreaker just goes deeper than he would ever need to go. Onto someone who can turn on him. So, I know we get the Darkseer kill over here. This BKB thing was throwing me off. Boom, gets freaking ruined. He overcommits on that charge. It's way too far. He manages to reposition and get a black hole off. He dies for it, but 3 of you died. This fight's actually going okay though. Holy shit, you actually won that fight. That's good because you like started with the Darkseer pick off, but after that your execution was really sloppy, and that fight could have went like significantly worse for you guys. Where's our Morphling at now? Going back to base. Is this Manta? Manta Treads would have been excellent earlier. Hitting for 200 damage. On a split push, where do we go now? Because now we're approaching the 30-minute mark, and you don't really have any farm. Like, you have the most farm in the game, probably, if I had to guess. Yeah, you have the most farm in the game, but like, irrespective of where you should feel that you should be, you're still low. You don't want to take fights like this either. That's really bad. Well, actually, I guess you know Black Hole's on cooldown. If Black Hole was on cooldown, taking a fight like that was just asking to get Black Hole. You want to get like a pick off on an important hero, and then use that advantage to then take a fight. Because if you get caught in like a decent black hole, like a 3-man black hole or something, like you're in bad shape. Because they have like huge wombo combo into that. And you guys aren't really, like, their advantage isn't overwhelming, but it's because they're not using the map. This Gyro's got 87 creeps when he should have like 200 plus. That's even lowballing it. Like a decent Gyro would have like 250. If his team had stacks, he'd probably have over 300 CS right now. And he could have been stacking Ancients for himself. Was he doing that? No. He bought a Helmet Dom and didn't stack Ancients. That's the biggest reason to buy that item, so you can stack, and he didn't do that. Also didn't buy an Aquila, which is really bad. This guy's pretty poor. It's just floating off kills and no farm. So like they're pretty much like they're getting kills, but they're not getting farm, which is really bad. Your team's farming like a little bit, but neither of your teams are really farming particularly well. Like you don't really have a game plan in mind. I guess we're kind of belaboring the point now. This is stupid. Helmet Dominant, Spirit Breaker. It's not really a good reason to do that. See, like right now, what you'd want to do is like you split push to here. You're committing really hard right there. So you would like send your Manta illusions to siege that, and then you'd TP top and just push that in. And then you just rat until stuff's dead. Because your illusions hit super hard, because you can more full Agiano. Where do we go now? We're back to base. It's not necessarily a bet. What? Why do you not? Oh, you're not even getting the Manta. You're just going for a Scotty now. Comprende, amiga. I don't think there's anything wrong with a Manta. Manta will let you break chains, will let you dodge her shackles. You can't really, like if you Manta at the last second, you can get out of the homing missile, but it's not that great. You can't Manta that off either. But like I still think the Manta's a good item on him, just because of the nature of the hero. Like you probably want the Manta. It's really good. Still no farm, almost a Scotty. Where do we go now? Back to base. You spend a lot of time going back to base too. Like it's probably like part of it's because you don't have regen, but you keep just taking fights and not farming and like getting damaged. And taking fights isn't necessarily wrong, but like what are these people doing? Okay, there's like I know there's 2 dead. You can boots of travel over to this and you guys can try and form and push. Black holes on cooldown, you should know. Like you could be pushing right now, but your team needs to do that as like a coordinated unit. And you have 2 people who aren't there. So instead of this being a 5-on-3, it's a 3-on-3. Against 2 of their really what the fuck? What the hell are they doing? They got 2 sets of Guardian Greaves. Okay, let's talk about inefficient items. 2 sets of Guardian Greaves. It's horrific. They're both destitute. This guy should not be that poor. He had a great lane. And he just died a bunch. Because he didn't farm. He's got 46 cubes on a Darkseer. Hero farms pretty damn quick. So like keep in mind, you're winning right now not because your team's playing well, because they're literally like doing everything they can for the game. This is, so let's see, what's the gold advantage right now? Dyer's up 2,000. Congrats, you're actually up 7,000 because they have 2 sets of Guardian Greaves. Which are redundant. You can't even activate, like you can't use both of them. Or like you can use both of them, but only one of them will have an effect on each person. So like their entire team fight is just, hey, Enigma, can you hit a really good black hole and then like account for our ineptitude? And sometimes he does and sometimes he doesn't. See, it's like 20 minutes ago this guy bought this refresher orb recipe. Okay, he finished the refresher now. And if he bought the Midas instead, he probably would have had the same time on that and more levels. Like Midas on Warlock is really good. Just because you want so many items on Warlock and your levels are really important too. Getting a fast Midas is really great on certain supports. He's definitely one of them. Because like you want that, you want an Ags, you can get a Sheep later. His gains are pretty good, so he ends up being like pretty tanky. And if you can get those items to like let him survive, like if he gets all that in a Shiva's, like he's really hard to kill. Not that you want him frontlining, but so you should see this guy building a butterfly. And I think he's had that for a very long time, so that should tell you like I should probably build a monkey king bar. So that or you just ignore him. Like he's pretty weak, so like if I felt he was a threat and I saw him doing that, then you have to account for it. But yeah, you're super farmed right now, so It's not really that big of a deal. Like, you're gonna win this game because their gyro has Down syndrome. Like 3 of them are really bad. These items are kind of questionable, but they're not the worst. And like their entire the only reason you've ever been in trouble this game was because this Enigma hit black holes. That's gotten to the point where that's just not enough because they don't have follow up. This guy's got no damage. His damage is okay. He does nothing. He does nothing. Gyro does very minimal. And like you're starting to hit really fucking hard right now. Boom. And then you guys are gonna win the game. So just to recap, I don't want to get beat up on you guys too hard. So like your draft was like questionable, and you want to have like a reason behind everything you do. Like you want to think things out and apply reason to what you're doing, so that it makes sense to you. And like if I asked, hey, why did you do that? Explain it. You explain it to me, and as you explain it, you don't feel like, wait, that's horrible reasoning. Like if I asked you, why did you rush an E-Blade? You're like, well, because it's a nuke. Yeah, but you don't have your adaptive strike max, which is how that combo works. Why'd you get boots of travel? Like, how would you explain that to me? Why did you get boots of travel? Well, so I can boots of travel places. Okay, well, if you're not using it to farm, then why would you get that? If you're fighting all the time, then treads are better. Like you're not using your replicate to get anywhere. I don't even remember. Like, apparently you've used one now, but it's like the first one I've seen all game. I haven't been watching you exclusively, but like I've rarely seen you use it. You do have the Manta now, so now you're like tanking. You hit hard and stuff, and that's great. Eventually got to a point of being strong, but you should be way stronger. And you should have like probably twice the farm right now. Maybe not twice. Like probably at least 300 though. With that boots of travel build, actually, no, you should have more than that, because like how I explained before, where you can push one lane, boots of travel to another, while sending your replicate to a third location. And that's how you get crazy farm. That's the whole point of that build. And like you just did things for the sake of doing them without thinking of why you should or shouldn't be doing them. And that's just the point I want to drive home. And like the way your team is playing in the mid game, your support stayed up here way too long. They didn't zone correctly. And like you should have been moving as 4 to create space for the Morphling to get tons of farm, and they weren't doing that. It's like there was kills down here where your team like had 2 people, got a kill, would have killed a third person, or second, because it would have been the gyro. But instead of them killing the gyro, then getting out cleanly, they failed to kill the gyro and then got killed by rotations. And if you had the Invoker there instead of him dicking around middle, or if you had the Warlock there, or if you had both of them there, then those were like clean kills into like an objective. Instead, you got punished for it. So you probably need someone who like shot calls on your team. Like you need to have one person saying, "Hey, here's what you're doing. Here we're gonna group this and we're gonna do that." And like if you don't know what to do, that's definitely like a easier said than done thing. Because even at higher levels, that's something that's hard to do. But like it's better you do something that's wrong than do nothing at all. So don't be scared to call a shot and it being wrong, just as long as someone's doing it. Obviously, like the more you call shots, the more you'll realize what's right and what's wrong. Like you'll learn from your experience and say, okay, this isn't a good idea for so and so reason. But like you just need to do things like that. And you as the carry shouldn't be the person doing that. You want usually like an offlaner or a support calling movements and rotations and stuff like that, because they're usually more aware of everything else that's going on, or they should be more aware. Or they should have more awareness of like what fights they can tank, the relative strength of all the enemy heroes, stuff like that. Because being a carry requires you focus on a lot of other stuff, like farming rotations, the clock, checking like hero positioning and stuff, and checking itemizations. And like you can't be aware of like when we should rotate, what we should be doing, and all that. Like you can, but it's a lot to process. And a support is just like, okay, I'm gonna stack because it's 53. You got this tower up that's low HP. There's a lot of waiting around as a support and like moving places to where you have that time to like assess the game as a whole. And like that's what you need to be doing, and then making those calls. But yeah, like this game was just lost because like they were all about the black hole. This guy's items were stupid. These items were exceptionally stupid. They both got Guardian Greaves. His are the only items that really made sense. His items are okay. Because, you know, everyone else has Guardian Greaves on his team. He should have just went with it, you know. 3 sets would have been great. Matching boots, you know. They gotta all be friends. But, yeah, so I hope that helps. I hope that gives you, like, an idea of how you want to approach things and, like, things you want to look for to improve upon. It's hard to look at, like, the whole picture and give like a really good analysis on it. So I hope this helped enough. I could watch the replay slower, and I could watch it 5 times over and look at each one of your perspectives, but that's like a huge commitment of time, and I don't like it that much. But no, in all seriousness, we got like the decent overall picture just by kind of going through it quick and like looking at the laning phase, looking at your draft and everything like that. So you just definitely just want to try and put more thought into why you're doing things. Anyway, hope that helps. If you have anything else you want me to look at, feel free to send me a message, send me another replay, leave some feedback, leave some comments, and best luck in your future games, man.